going on, y'all? What's going on? Welcome to the latest edition of Minds of Mayhem. Currently, right now, I am alone without my co-host. He'll be in a little bit shortly. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. Also, we got a special guest tonight. We're going to talk about possibly the New Day splitting up, possibly. Also, we're going to talk about Brian Danielson winning the AEW Championship today at All In, which is the only match I kind of really cared about from the entire show. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Also, we're going to give our picks for Bash in Berlin, which will be this Saturday coming up. So, while we waiting, let's bring on our guests. Now, I met this dude via TikTok, cool dude. He knows his wrestling. He's also very controversial with some of his takes. Let's just say that. So, let's give it up for my guy, Temoni. What's going
It
on,
doesn't
bro?
matter. That doesn't matter. No, nothing matters.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Yeah, cream. Yeah.
What's going on,
I was
bro?
playing with y'all. It's too hot up here for that shit.
Hey, I hear
What's
you.
going on, y'all?
What's going on with you, man?
Chilling, man. Chilling. As always.
So, I hear you. So, we met via TikTok and we became cool somewhat.
Mm.
So, how did you start liking wrestling? Who inspired you? Who made you want to watch it?
My grandmother. So
Really?
surprisingly or not, every Saturday we would go to church with her on Sundays. So Saturday night, we would spend the night of her house and we would watch wrestling. And the main caveat to that was after we got out of church, she would cook us dinner and all that stuff. But we got to watch the pay-per-views because she would order them so we could watch them. So that's the main. My grandmother got me into wrestling at first. So it's always been like a long running thing with her.
Oh, so that's actually I hear that a lot about everybody. Is any wrestler that's on like anywhere, they say that either their grandmother or sometimes it be their dad or their mom, but it's mostly you hear it be the grandmother, which be like, that's different. So obviously we know your favorite wrestler was Macho Man. Of
Oh
course.
yeah, king of the
As you can
promo.
see, yeah, king of promos, as you say. Because if you go follow him on his TikTok, he does promos as Macho Man Randy Savage. It's hilarious.
I got
And like I said,
some other ones in the chamber that I ain't done yet. I got this Rock one, which I'm
you said
proud of,
Rock
to
or
say the
Rock
least.
one?
Rock, the
Okay.
Rock. I got one. I'm kind of proud of it. I had the $1,000 shirt on and everything.
Not the $1,000 shirt. Not that cheap ass $5 shirt he used to wear every night.
Yeah.
No, cause I think everybody wanted to be the Rock as a kid growing up, especially me. I had the sideburns and everything as a kid. Them
I
Elvis sideburns.
thought that haircut was something different. It was actually a dude I used to go to school with, James Holiday. We used to call him Doc Holiday. He had the Rock haircut down packed. All the way to the sideburns and every fucking thing.
Well, my co-host, he's a huge Rock fan, so you'll see how he is because he comes in with the sunglasses, the shirt. It depends on what shirt he has on because normally he has on either any kind of other shirt, but if it's a Rock, he's going to put on Just Bring It or Team Bring It, whatever. He's been a Rock fan since I knew him since third grade. Also, so let's get to another thing. Also, do you have any like favorite matches growing up or anything?
I want to say the match that absolutely scared me the fucking most was Mankind versus Undertaker when he threw him off the Hell in a Cell. That scared the shit out of me. One of my favorite matches is, I know it's not like top tier to everybody else. It was RVD versus Tajiri.
It must be ECW, right?
No, it was WWE. The ECW one wasn't as good as this one.
I'm trying to remember the
It wasn't
match.
a pay-per-view. It wasn't a pay-per-view. It was like a SmackDown. It was like a real. I like that match just because I always liked Tajiri and also always liked RVD.
Yeah, I know because we always discussed. So you say RVD has the best frog splash ever.
Yes.
Also one of the controversial things you said recently, it was you said Razor Ramon was
does
not a
not
good
have a
talker.
good does not have a good promo in his body. Like now, my friend Paul corrected me and said, "Well, it was a promo with him and somebody else, and it was decent." And I was like, "I'm talking about promos where you cut by yourself, not somebody else to support you, not someone else to make it good. But his vignettes don't count. The vignettes are scripted. Somebody wrote those bullshit. But his actual presence on the mic, like every time I've watched the promo, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this for TikTok. The more I listen to it, the more I grow to hate it. I mean, hate it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, think about it though with him. Vince had him coming there being a Cuban, which was even worse. But Vince always had that issue where he always make guys not their nationality. Like for instance, Yokozuna, he made him Japanese and he was a
Japanese
full
when he was
Samoan.
Samoan.
He made Rikishi Sultan when he's full on Samoan.
Hmm.
Who else he made that was crazy? He had a lot of wrestlers that he made into something else. Oh yeah, what was the dude named Akeem? He thought he was a black man.
He made Chavo Guerrero do that whole
Oh my god, I
that
remember
white
that.
dude,
The
the
current
whole white
white.
dude gimmick. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Vince McMahon had a weird perspective of making stars, but for some weird reason, it kept him in business for a period of time. Now, as we see, Triple H is now like the head honcho now. Do you watch the current product as we speak now a little bit?
I watch it, but I ain't gonna hold you. When I be getting home Monday or Friday, I be forgetting that the shit is on. But then I hurry up and scramble to watch it, and I'm watching like highlights from it while on my phone or something like that while I'm at work. But yeah,
Mm,
I ain't Triple H doing a tremendous job, especially giving some people opportunities that you never thought would get an opportunity to be
that is
featured in any
facts.
way, shape, or form. But also, like he's actually doing some unique stuff for storylines, except for some things that I could see like coming a mile away. Like I knew the Bailey was going to lose the belt to Nia Jax, and I just knew that offhand. Or I ain't gonna hold you. I did think that Tiffy was gonna cash in on her during that fucking match.
I did too when she came out there. Because, Grant, Tiffany's the future of that division in SmackDown, the way it looks. Nia Jax, it's her time right now with that belt. Bailey, she had her, time in the sun. It was kind of like booked poorly a little bit, but it could have been better than what it was. But I do appreciate the fact that he did have Bailey with a nice run because she hasn't had a title run in years since what
Mm-hmm.
2020.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, besides Macho Man, who else was your favorite wrestlers growing up?
Uh, Steve Blackman, mainly for martial arts reasons.
Oh yeah,
I always like wrestlers who like really was good on the mic and didn't seem too scriptless. So yeah, I was naturally a fan of The Rock. Um, but during the Attitude Era, I wasn't so much a fan of The Rock. I was more a fan of Stone Cold. Anything
I think that was
else?
everybody in the 90s. Yeah,
But I
because
always
so
liked anybody who was a heel. If you were a heel, I had like a lot of love for you as a heel because being anybody can be a good guy, anybody, but it takes grace to be fucking evil. That's why the entire Roman Reigns runs as the tribal chief. I fucking love that.
oh yeah, the 4 year span. Yeah,
Yeah, I fucking
I
love
think
every
it
minute of
depends.
it.
I think it depends on like who beats the bad guy because like some guys are born to be the bad guy. Like
Mm,
a la the Miz. The Miz is a great bad guy. Him as a good guy, it can work sometimes, but it's like you're known for being the bad guy. You're known for being that guy we just hate to like we want to boo. Like right now it's him. Then you got Grayson Waller, who's a great heel. He's a great heel. Then who else you got? Solo right now, the way Solo's going right now, he's doing everything he could to get booed, so it's working for him. Speaking of which, how you feel about the bloodline situation now? Is it as it's going right now?
that's fucking annoying. Like I don't like. Don't get me wrong. The only person I'm a fan of in the new bloodline is Jacob Fatu. Everybody else, fuck off. Nothing else that they doing right now is really like queuing into me. I like Jacob because first of all, he got a fucking impeccable nickname, Samoan Werewolf. That's fucking impeccable for him. That's one. And then two, I mean, the dude got locks, so yeah, I'm gonna give much respect to any Samoan unless they wear locks.
Okay.
But like, I don't. It's like you can kind of. It's like I get what you're doing with Solo, trying to build him up to, in the sense to be a bad guy, to give him some kind of heat. But you can tell his presence on the mic is shit. You can tell he's not comfortable with talking. He was cool being in the background and just being fucking quiet. But now you put him in the forefront. He's part of these feuds. He has to talk. So you have to put the mic in his hand and let him say something. And to me, it's like when he's talking, all right, I can zone out for a few minutes because he's not saying shit important.
Yeah, that is true. Because, like you said, Jacob Fatu, since being WWE, has killed it. Right now, he's in a boot, but he's still whooping ass still, which is insane. But yeah, even in his indie days as the small werewolf, he was a beast. And you know he lost a lot of weight too.
Yeah. I think he
Lost
lost like over 60
hell
pounds.
of weight. Yeah. And it's hard to believe that man is 32 with 7 kids.
Nah, that's
I'm like, bro, what you was
nah,
doing?
that's real.
But you know,
It's,
Rikishi, speaking of Samoans, Rikishi, he gotta be stopped because I didn't found he got another son.
yeah, he do. I think he
I'm
has
like,
two other sons. Neither one of them got nothing to do with wrestling.
actually, one of them do. He's like really like a big time wrestler in indies right now a little bit. And you would think like Kishi is like he actually makes he kind of reminds me of the Portal. You know how the Portal is in
Mm.
the football. It's like he just branching out prospects every time you looking because it's like what the hell. But yeah, so yeah, I really appreciate you coming on the show for a little bit because
Mm.
sorry for my guest tardiness. I'm waiting for him to come in. I don't know where he's gonna come in. But let's also ask you another question. Besides, like you said, your grandma got you into wrestling.
Mm.
Did you like fall out wrestling at the time, or you just kept watching throughout your whole life?
I started watching like periodically on my own time, like especially during the Attitude Era. But like sometime after the Attitude Era, I stopped watching it because I got really into basketball and stuff like that. So I stopped watching it
Okay.
for a while. And then what cued me back into watching it was, COVID. I wasn't doing shit else. And they were still having shows, which is surprising to me because, we all supposed to be fucking away from each other. So I'm like, oh, they still having matches. So that's when I started watching, even though like the entire thing with the arena with nobody there, I get what y'all was
Yeah,
doing.
that was it was cool, but it felt weird because it's like you're in the performance center doing a show with nobody there. But then as the weeks progress, you started adding more wrestlers that are not on the scene, basically like a lot of NXT talent
Mm-hmm.
and everything and stuff like that. So, you know, it helps out, but at the same time, it could have been better, which is why they had to move to the Thunderdome.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. Let's see. I got a few comments I gotta see right quick. There's one right here from let me see if I can pull it up.
Man, no, I feel like there's not a person who won't say Rock, Stone Cold, or Undertaker.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I
you,
said.
you will hear Triple H in that conversation from time to time, but somebody who like I feel like doesn't get enough credit, Kane. Kane.
I
Like
agree
Kane don't get enough
great.
credit.
Yeah,
I mean, like I feel like Shawn Michaels has always been great throughout the years. Like no matter what he does, like he's always been great throughout the years. I can't look at like a time period during his career and be like, yo, that was a completely shit time period. But it's certain people who just don't get the credit they deserve. Yeah, like even Jim Ross should get credit for a certain degree, not just from being a commentator, because some of the stuff that he said behind that commentary desk, we still say today.
oh yeah,
So
definitely like Slobber Knocker, Good God Almighty. He's
he's
still
broken in
doing commentating
half.
to the that too. He's still doing commentating, but he's in AEW
Yeah.
doing over there. But it's like I know everybody be like he needs to retire, but I'm like he ain't gonna retire. I mean, JR is still gonna keep doing these matches. He's still gonna keep calling the stuff because his voice is so iconic, you just can't forget about it.
That's right.
So,
Jerry
do you
Lawler did.
have anybody currently on a? Oh, sorry.
Listen, he said King
Oh yeah, Jerry
Jr.
Lawler as well. Definitely Jerry Lawler. Okay, so is there anybody in the main roster now that you like, or you love besides Chicken Fatu? At least Chicken Fatu, but is there anybody on like anybody else you like besides Fatu?
I was a huge fan of Ricochet. Still am. I don't know how much I'm really watching because I don't tune into
Okay,
AEW as much as I want to, but I do like Ricochet. Before I was a real big fan of Neville, and I was pissed off when Neville left when they let Neville go because Neville was one of the ones. And I mean, I think
okay.
he in AEW is Pac now, right? Think so. I
Yes,
think he
Pack,
in
the Bastard
AEW is
Pack. Yes,
yeah, terrible fucking name.
him and yeah, he is. He is. Well, he was Pack in before he came to WWE. He was always Pack. Now Neville is a good name too, but he was always known as Pack because the matches he had with Ricochet at Dragon Gate, same thing with Will Ospreay as well. So he always had that name Pack. Yeah, I know you. I know one of the promos you did. You used it, L.A. Knight stuff, and I know he's not one of your favorites.
He is one of my favorites because his presence on the mic is fucking impeccable. Don't push past his fucking ring work because that's great too. For somebody to be 42 years old and still move around like he in his 20s, he's great. He's great, especially like some of the promos he's cut, some of the things he said and done. He's
That
very
is
deserving to
that is
have the
very
U.S.
true.
title. But one thing I will say wholeheartedly, that it's because of him that made me really think of it. Rey Mysterio really need to hang that shit the fuck up. I'm sorry, Ray. I love
I
you to
remember you
death.
saying
You
that.
was great. You great, but it's time to hang this shit up, bro. You already got your son in the door. He's kind of established as a heel. I don't know what's up with that porn mustache. I don't know what y'all got him doing wearing that for. I guess he's supposed to be like trying to be channeling Eddie, but Ray need to hang that shit up.
I think Ray sooner or later he's going to hang it up. I think it's just the fact that we know Ray as a legend, and when you hear about Ray Mysterio, you automatically think of the best cruiserweight matches. You think of the match between him and Eddie Guerrero at Halloween Havoc. Of course, him winning the world title, but I can't understand what you say he needs to hang it up. And speaking of which, my guy just came in, my co-host Nova. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, folks?
Yo,
This is my guy off to TikTok. This is Temoni.
Hey, what's going on? What's going
yo,
on?
You were just talking about. He was saying how he was a fan of Macho Man, and he was giving like his breakdown on the current product.
Ooh, yeah, dig it.
And since you're here, bro, and
oh,
since you're here, I'm glad you came on here because it was like I was wondering where you was at, bro. What took you so long?
Yep. Uh huh.
Give me a
Uh huh.
minute. What took so long? We was working.
Yeah, let's call it that. Let's call it work.
Okay then. Okay then. Sure. Well, now that you're here, we can get to some of the topics that we was going to talk about. And to mine, we call this the rundown. So just bear with us. We're going to get started, ladies and gentlemen, with the rundown. So we got a few topics we're going to talk about, bro, because it's been the crazy week of wrestling, and we just had a good peer review with all Elite Wrestling. So one of the topics that I wanted to talk about is actually the New Day possibly breaking up. Now it's been like a lot of signs of where Xavier and Kofi had not been on with the new versions of Odyssey Jones, and you can tell after this match they had this past Monday when Kofi's going for a tag, you see Odyssey took the tag and Xavier face was like, "What the fuck? Why you took the tag from me?" And I think it's gonna come to a head where we might see the New Day break up like fully. Because really, New Day has had a good run for a long period of time. I
Mm-hmm.
just think that Kofi is already established. Biggie, I mean, he's on the shelf, but he's established. I think it's time for Xavier Woods to have his moment a little bit. Not saying like world title moment, but have his moment as a single star because he's good on the mic and he can wrestle very good. So it's like, why not give him a shot? Before we go to you, bro, let me ask somebody: how do you feel about possibly New Day breaking up?
About fucking time. It's nothing. It's like y'all can only ride on having the tag titles, breaking that record for the tag titles initially for so long. You
Mm-hmm.
got to do something else now. Kofi had his individual WWE run, even though it was short lived, his heavyweight championship run. Big E's had the
Mm-hmm.
title. But then it's like, to a sense, you like, damn, what has Xavier done other than being king of the ring?
Right.
They haven't really given him anything.
Right.
So I feel like him turning heel right now and portraying Kofi or something like that makes sense to me. He hasn't had anything for himself, no storyline. Where you be like, damn, yeah, that's crazy. Like, he never had nothing to himself, so it's about time he has.
But see, even with that, I feel like the only issue that I have with this hill turn is everything that Xavier Woods has built outside of the New Day, up, up, down, down, his connections with all his video games and stuff, and then he has Kofi, the Usos, all the other like up and comers and big names on the channel. So if you turn him heel, that means that the WWE is going to take control of up, up, down, down at some point due to his heel run. We won't see Kofi. We won't see any other faces or potential top hills on his channel. On that note, I feel like them turning heel, yeah, it's a good move, but I don't think it could mean breaking up the New Day. But I see, like I said, I see your point as far as him just being king of the ring. He had potential opportunities as United States champion. He had potential opportunities to be an Intercontinental champion, but he's mainly a tag team guy. So if you have that tag team guy that's turning heel in a faction, it's weird. But I like for me, I just got to see this play out. Again, up, up, down, down is on the line with this heel turn. All the other, video game stuff, appearances, Comic Cons, all of that other stuff. I feel like that's all on the line if we turn Woods heel at this point and break up the New Day.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, I think with the up up down down channel, like he if Xavier were to like turn heel, he still has Tyler Breeze. He still does the show with him. So it's like if they want Breeze to take over and everything, they can do that. But at the same time, like you said, that's Xavier Woods' baby. So it's like for him to go heel, he legit had to stop that. But at the same time, you think about it
Mm-hmm.
too. When he
Mm-hmm.
was heel, he had a lot of faces on the show before when he was doing the up down down before. Cause he had Usos on there at one point while they were still being bad guys.
And that's the thing. He was doing that as a heel, but with the New Day.
True. I think as soon as his page, they can probably work it out. Cause
I
granted,
mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I'll tell you that.
I
that
feel
is true.
like
Because granted, we do want to see Xavier do more. Go ahead, somebody. Go ahead.
I feel like you if keep you can still he can still keep up down now. He can still be a part of that show 100%. All you got to do is have him have a meltdown on that show between him and Kofi. Have him have an issue with him on that show while they playing the game, and then he's still doing up down down, but it's just him and he's playing games where you can be evil.
I mean, yeah, and to that point, I agree with that. Like I said, it's just it's weird. You get what I'm saying? Like he's for Xavier Woods alone, he's trying to separate. the wrestling from his YouTube channel. I get that
Mhm.
100%. But like you said, if they was to make that bridge to say, all right, if we're gonna turn me heel, we got to connect up, down, down to it. You can do that, but also that's more writing on not only Xavier Woods' part, but it's also writing on the WWE's part and them coming together to have this agreement of what worked and what doesn't work. So it's more on the creative aspect with, again, up, down, down, and that team with the team of WWE. And it feels weird, but it's like you really have to like just see it play out to see which direction. I feel like it's going to be a tease to where um they talk about Biggie not coming back, and I think it's going to be one of those situations where Biggie may make an appearance and say, "All right, I know I'm not wrestling, but this is me passing the torch, not to replace me, but to have an addition to the New Day." You get what I'm saying? Because we seen what they've done with Big E and breaking the world record with, well, not the world record, but the record with the tag team titles and all of that other stuff. So it's like if we have that trio of the New Day and how that came to be, what could Odyssey bring to the New Day that Big E hasn't brought to the New Day? And will Big E endorse it? That's the other question.
Yeah, well, Biggie actually he's already endorsed Odyssey when he debuted.
Mm-hmm.
Now this past Monday they did have a discussion where Kofi explained to how he trying to elevate Odyssey because remember when Kofi, Big E, and Xavier were first started out as a New Day, they
Mm-hmm.
were laughed at all this stuff. They was like, this ain't gonna ever get over. And look at them
Mm-hmm.
for almost 10 plus years, one of the top selling merchandising teams, have all the products. I
Yep.
remember in 2016 they had like a list of products from Bootio cereal, the Funko Pops, the action figures, the T-shirts, and every year they got a different like design. Even now, they're with the Ninja Turtles now doing their whole like cosplay thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's they always involved with something. So granted, me I'm a New Day fan, but as I look at it, I'm like, look, I think it's time for them to separate. I mean, if we've seen the Usos separate, we can see the New Day separate a little bit. That's my thing on that.
And they coming up on 10 years this year, so
Yeah, and it's like they've been killing it.
like I say, it's kind of odd to me, but I feel like it could be done. It's just a matter of how and when it will actually take place.
Right, that is true.
Yeah.
That is very true. Let's move on to the next topic because we are kind of doing this episode kind of late, and we didn't expect to do it this late, so it happens. Let's get on to the next topic now. Temani, I don't know if you might know as much about this topic as I watch AEW. I think my guy watch AEW as much, probably maybe. We're going to talk about a little bit. And the topic is that Brian Danielson, formerly known as Daniel Bryan, has won the AEW Championship today at All In,
Mm.
where he defeated Swerve Strickland for the title. Now, I watched the entire pay-per-view today. It was a good show. I mean, some matches I didn't care for, maybe like a few. I care for the main event, which is Brian and Swerve.
Hmm.
Who was good? Mariah May and Tony Storm was a good match. These are other people who probably don't know somebody. Jack Perry, who's Luke Perry's son, versus a guy named Darby Allen. So we had a few good matches, but Brian Danielson, since signed with AEW, has finally won the World Championship. Now, here's a caveat: this technically is his last match. He's on a handshake deal. He's supposed to be done after this match, quote unquote. So
Hmm.
we don't know. So it's Wednesday. I'll be tuning in to check it out and see what's going to happen because he's supposed to be done. He already said it in a media scrum today that he's done. He's not going to be wrestling anymore. He wants to be a family man with his kids.
Hmm.
So I'll start with you, bro, and then maybe Tamani might have something on it a little bit, cause if since he doesn't watch AEW as much. So,
I'm
bro, how you feel about Brian Danielson winning the belt?
first and foremost, congratulations. That's first and foremost. Um, I have mixed emotions about Brian Danielson winning the title before he hangs it up because I feel like in this particular scenario, they just handed him the title as a thank you and not as a well earned championship win. Like they just handed it to him on a silver platter. And that's how I see it in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, he put his career on the line and all that other stuff. So I feel like he kind of like self spoiled the victory a little bit just by putting his career on the line. And we've seen it play out time and time again where if somebody puts their career on the line, they're going to end up winning. The ratio was like 50-50. So if you look at it from that standpoint, I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I'm surprised based off of contractual the I'll say contractual responsibilities leading
Mm-hmm.
up to him winning the title. But again, congratulations. And again, what's going to happen after this? Is he going to hang it up? Is he not going to hang it up? And I feel like 9 times out of 10, Daniel Bryan is that wrestler type person because in WWE when he retired, he came back and was like the happiest kid in the candy store until he fell kind of short creativity wise when they were not booking him as much during the pandemic. So he was like in and out the door, so to speak. So it's like even in this scenario in AEW where they let him have full free reign to do whatever it is that they want to do creatively, we might see the same scenario to where he's gonna say, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna defend the championship and all that other stuff. But again, if he retires, it's like, okay, well, have fun.
Yeah, but I think with Brian Danielson, I think his run as a world champion, like I said, now he had a belt in Ring of Honor. He
hmm
has had a world title in WWE,
hmm
and now he has a world title in AEW.
And
So
and then on top of that, if you realize when it comes to the world championship, his reign never lasts that long.
it doesn't. I mean, besides Ring of Honor, but
Yeah, besides but the big stage, it never lasts that long.
yes. Well, I know when he went at WrestleMania 30, he had to get surgery on his neck, so it's like
hmm
that ring was going to like end. And plus, that ring he got was because the little kid, what's his name, Connor.
Yeah, Connor. Yeah.
He was basically, he was on Earth for a few more days. Basically, he was about to pass. So they gave that moment to Brian to win. Now, granted, Brian was hot at that time,
hmm
so only right to give him that title run. But that's why he had that belt. And plus, then his dad passing away. I think a few days ago. Then he got married. It was a lot for him. He was doing. He was doing a lot that time.
All of that, and plus when he won the IC championship, he was dealing with concussions. So
Hmm. Yes, when he
it's
had to
like
retire and hang it up a little bit.
it's like Daniel Bryan with championships is like a curse. I don't know what it is. Like,
Well, with that being said, let's put. Well, let's being said, I think tomorrow you can get involved with this. Is Daniel Bryan a top five? Well, I wouldn't say top five. Is Daniel Bryan one of the best wrestlers of all time? I'll throw that question to you, Tamani. Is he?
uh, 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 uh,
Well, he already shook his head, so.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Um, I mean,
Ah!
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Dan Bryan has come a long way, but
Uh,
there's never been a time I'm like, oh shit, this guy's amazing. It's never been one of those moments for me. When he won both the belts at the one night at WrestleMania, I was happy, but you knew something was going to happen stupid. You knew something was going to happen. Like you knew it wasn't going to be great because of it. And then what happened? Something was wrong with his neck. Then he came back, and then he had that fucking ridiculous run of him being like this environmental friendly person. Then he gets the belt, and then yes, the best thing he did was agree to drop the belt to Kofi. You know they asked him.
Yeah,
agree to drop the belt to Kofi. So I applaud you for that. Outside of that,
hit or miss.
Hey
exactly.
Man, you were here. You were here. And I'll take that back. It's one thing he did that I actually absolutely fucking love. Team Hell No. Love Team Hell No.
Oh yeah.
Because the hug it out shit with Kane was fucking hilarious.
See, that whole thing was hit or miss for me because I feel like with that, even though you want to show some type of chemistry between the two, but I think if you take a big legend like Kane and have him do that comedic aspect to the character, it kind of waters it down a little bit. And I'm not blaming the whole pairing with Daniel. I think it was just that whole idea creatively. It sucked for me. It really did. And again, if we separate Team Hell No from all of Daniel Bryan's single accolades, I feel like he's definitely top 20, but I don't know about top 10. I give him top 20. The thing is, he was too much of an indie guy. He was an indie darling, as opposed to the main stage to WWE during that time. We weren't hip to indie wrestlers. We was only hip to WWE and TNA, and maybe 10% Ring of Honor at the time. But as far as like independent scene, that didn't start flaring up until I say Finn Balor and all of those guys. Like as far as the true independent scene, CM Punk and all of them, that didn't really flourish until I would say like 2013, maybe after WrestleMania at the time. That's when the independents started like flowing with talent coming left and right during that time period. But when Daniel Bryan came in, it's like, all right, we know he's a big name, but who is he? Like, what are we seeing here? Like, what are we getting? The whole thing with the Miz. Okay, then they took a lawn dart and said who's going to win Money in the Bank. Ironically, it lands on Daniel Bryan, and then that whole thing happened. He loses it in 16 seconds at WrestleMania.
You can't convince me to take that.
Give me a little respect. He had 18 seconds.
Okay, 18. But sure. That's like a premature in bedroom session, but that's besides the point.
Wow. Wow.
That whole thing happened. It is like, bro, he was hot and then he got lost in the shuffle. He was hot and then he got lost in the shuffle. So it was like on and off with Daniel Bryan. I don't know.
Okay, so to me, he's not a top 5 or top one of the best wrestlers ever. He's maybe one of the best technicians in the ring, possibly. I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
But as a overall wrestler, nah. Like, granted, I mean, like I said, he's based like that underdog at that time during his run during WWE. But you gotta remember something. Bryan Danielson was actually in WWE in 2001 beforehand when he was training with Shawn Michaels. Remember, he was trained by Shawn Michaels and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He got his start as, I think, the American Dragon. Then he came on Velocity and fought John Cena one night, lost to Cena. Then he basically went back to Ring of Honor, became the American Dragon on Ring of Honor, had his run there, was a long champion there.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course he left there to go to NXT when he was doing that whole game show thing. And he was on that. That's when it basically started with him and the Miz basically having a feud.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like I said, Brian Danielson as a technician is one of the best ever to do it. As a full-on wrestler, I can't get with that. I know a lot of people will say he's like in the top. Like you can't say it because it's like one. Like name me a memorable match that he had that's not indies. Like
Mm,
indies, I can name matches all day with him. Him and Nigel McGuinness, him and Samoa Joe, him and Kenta, him and Homicide, him and CM Punk. I can name all those.
mm-hmm.
But WWE, his matches, I mean, he had moments, of course. He had moments. But
Yeah.
like matches where you was like, oh, this is a good match I can remember by. I can maybe say he probably had maybe like one or one probably. But in that, it's like it's just that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know people will say, "Oh, he's the best ever." He's not. He's not in that conversation. If you say technician, I'll agree with you 100%. I won't even argue with you. I won't even try to like even argue with you. Now, on the other hand, he might argue with you probably, but I won't.
But and then on top of that, you got to think of the people that he modeled his career after. Guys like William Regal, Dean Malenko, Benoit, um, all of those other cats. The
Mhm.
problem, and I think Daniel Bryan's problem was that he tried to, I guess you could say, duplicate that same style in the wrong era.
Okay.
And nowadays, you see people doing the flips and the dives and the OMG moments. Daniel Bryan never had any of those OMG moments except for at WrestleMania when he damn near broke his neck off of a powerbomb.
Oh yeah.
So there's that, and like I said, is so many Daniel Bryan moments in WWE that could have been better than what they already booked it as. The
Mhm.
problem, the problem was his health and all those different things played a factor into why he became well why he had the success that he had. Not saying that he's a bad wrestler or anything. It was just too many things under Daniel Bryan crippled him. I feel like to being that top tier performer.
Yeah, that's true. So let's get into the last time we're gonna probably get out of here. Cause like I said, we didn't expect to do this show this late. Next time we'll be on time. Like it's spawned a moment. It happens. But let's get into the next topic. What we're gonna do is Bash in Berlin picks. Cause this Saturday coming up is Bash in Berlin. It's coming on Peacock. I think around like 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock.
Yep.
And so far we have I think about like 5 matches that's on the card as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
One of the matches, of course, is the main event, which will be Gunther versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship. Also, we have the Undisputed WWE Championship, where it's Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the strap match, Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley versus Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. And we also have the Women's Tag Team Championships, the Unholy Union versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Now let's start off with that match, the tag team, women's tag team title match. I think we're all in agreement here who's going to win that match, possibly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going with Jade and Bianca because,
The Black
um,
Avengers.
I mean, huh?
The Black Avengers.
Not the Black Avengers. The Black Avengers is insane, bro. Who you going with, money?
In all honesty, the way I feel like Unholy Union is going to retain. I feel like they're going to retain because they don't want Jade Cargill as a tag star. They want her as a single. And having her feud with Bianca Belair makes the most sense to me. Because they're both strong as shit. They both do obscenely crazy shit, muscle wise. So that makes sense.
True. So are we predicting a heel turn at Bash in Berlin?
That's what I think. I think something's gonna happen between them two at that match.
That might actually work because I know a lot of people were saying it should be a Bianca turn heel on her, but I'm like, Bianca's a bona fide face. It's like you can't really see her being a heel again. Where
I do.
Jade, she's
I
new,
do,
and it's like
honestly.
she can afford the booze. You say, bro?
I feel like Bianca can pull off a heel run.
I feel like it's time.
Cause she
Yeah,
now let's keep it real. When she did her heel run in NXT, she was hot. She definitely was on to something. Like, of course, she was the ratchet black girl in NXT, and I think nowadays, like as far as the big three, as they call them, like with
Mm-hmm.
Naomi, and I know why they call it the big three. WWE, I ain't stupid, but
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
but as far as that's concerned, I feel like it's going to be one of those moments where it's going to be history making between three of the most dominant African American women in WWE. To where if Bianca turns on Jade, and now you put Naomi in the middle of who's going to ride for who, telling that story, that's going to be dope. And I feel like with that, if that was the play out, is good. That story could be up there with Dom and Rhea.
Yeah.
This
I'm just
damn
saying.
soundboard, I forgot about that.
Listen, I was going to say the Bloodline, but that would have been stupid. So yeah.
Oh God, Bloodline's still gonna last for until we get older. I ain't older.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the next match we're gonna pick is the Terror Twins and Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan.
Oh, Terror
Me, I'm
Twins all
going.
yeah, Terror Twins all day.
Yeah.
It should be. It should be the Terror Twins, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to be out of nowhere. Finn going to cost him that match
I
because
feel
Finn has
like
already said he's going to every time Damien's looking to get ahead, he's going to be right behind him to stop him.
But
So it's
again,
like I think that might happen.
if we look at that, then what's the payoff? Damien doesn't have the title anymore, so it's like you kind of sort of just keeping yourself afloat at this time. Now, if Damien still had the title, then I would have been like, yeah, 100%, I agree with you. Not to say that what you're saying is wrong, but I feel like at this point, it's like it's going to go nowhere with a big something at the end. Whatever it is, it's going to be crazy.
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think well, Priest has already said that that title he feels though in his mind he get it back. Right
Mm-hmm.
now he wants to get his hands on Finn, and Finn has been running away from him. So this feud will probably last probably until Bad Blood, most likely coming. Because Bad Blood is next month, I believe. So it's like they're gonna have their match soon. But I just feel as though Finn might cost him that match. So you feel the same way about the Terror Twins as well, too, Tamani?
yeah, I feel like they're gonna lose the match because of the judgment outside interference.
Mm-hmm.
Either that
Okay.
or it's gonna be something like that. I don't see
Okay.
nobody like coming to be a part of the whole feud to interfere to stop the judgment day from interfering. I don't foresee anything like that. But I do see like Finn coming out there and fucking him over somehow, some way. And then of course, they had him match at Bad Blood, which if you gonna book it correctly, man, y'all need to really make it a cage match. Make it interesting. Make it a cage match.
Well,
Don't
I
just
think
have
we're
no
going
run of the
to.
mill single match with no DQ bullshit.
Exactly.
Give me something worth watching.
True. The only reason
And
why I
I'm
say,
just
go ahead,
you
go ahead,
want
go
to
ahead.
sprinkle something extra on top. Should you go make it a Hell in a Cell match? Make Finn Balor become the Demon.
Or First Blood.
Oh yeah, that's even better.
I think with them, they've been showing a lot of blood on Wrestler now lately too. So I think it's about time they do some real blood matches.
If they do a First Blood, that'll be dope. And
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like the cage match idea, that's not a bad idea. And I think Bash at Berlin would have been the perfect place for Finn and Damien to have that type of match because they never had a cage. Well, did they?
Oh,
I don't know why I'm thinking Saudi Arabia. I'm thinking of the wrong.
I don't think so.
I'm thinking of the wrong show. My bad. I retract my statement. But yeah, like if they have like a big Hell in a Cell or like a cage match and like a PLE to this grandeur in another country, that'd be crazy. That would have been insane. But for this to be a mixed tag team match, I get it, but I feel like it should have been a one on one right off the rip with Finn Balor.
I think we still got. I think if they're gonna do another Saudi show this year, because you know they got Crown Jewel,
Mm-hmm.
so that'll be coming up soon. And with Damien and Finn, I mean, like I said, the cage match that'll be dope. But actually, to me, the cage match will probably be saved for our next matchup, probably, possibly, where we have CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a strap match.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I told you I was gonna be honest when I was on here. I
Hey,
feel like this feud it's just filler. I didn't know I was watching anime. This is something to hold me over to something great. I didn't know I was watching anime. This feud
So I'm
makes
not the
no
only
sense to
one.
me. This
I'm
feud
not the
makes no
only
sense to
one.
me. If it was Seth Rollins, I would be completely understood because that's what we all want to see. You want to see CM Punk and Seth Rollins go at it because you know they hate each other in real life.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they
Give
do.
me that. Fuck Drew McIntyre.
I
Make him
think
feud with Gunther.
I think the reason why we're not getting Punk and Seth right now is that I think they're saving that for Mania.
Which is going to be in Vegas,
Even though
yeah.
that's a hell of a stretch. That's a hell of a stretch. But I feel like they're saving that for Mania. And as many times as they came like face to face and we thinking, oh shit, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. They pull them apart and it's like, not yet. So I feel like we're gonna get Seth and Punk at Mania. As far as the whole thing with Punk and Drew, it to me it didn't make sense with the whole bracelet to begin with. It didn't make sense. And then on top of that, what why? Like why? Like
What are we
we
doing?
thought it was done at SummerSlam. Like
I think with Punk and McIntyre, like, remember, this all brew because even though Seth and um, Punk have their issues, behind the scenes,
mm-hmm,
Drew and Punk had their stuff with their situation too in real life. So it's like, it goes hand in hand. Now, granted, Drew being involved with the storyline, it just goes back to Royal Rumble when he injured him. So it's like, of course, once he beat him at SummerSlam, we knew that Punk was not going to be done with Drew at all. He was not going to be done with him.
mm-hmm,
So it was bound to be another match, where it's like, a strap match this time. And
mm-hmm,
most likely Punk will probably win this match, and then they'll set up one more match at Bad Blood, and then they'll be done. Because Seth is going to be out for a little bit. They had to write him off TV for a little bit because he actually is hurt still. And like we said, they're saving that match for Punk and Seth at Mania, at least.
mm-hmm.
Because them two has came close to each other all the time, and they never did anything yet. They even showed a video recently where when CM Punk returned, the camera pans to Seth Rollins' reaction. Seth Rollins is like cuss up a storm. They blurring his mouth. He's having a tantrum. It's all over the place basically. So I'm going with Punk to win this match just
And
because it's going to split it. We're going to get another one more likely. Now if Punk loses, Punk basically just he goes nowhere, and Drew
exactly,
basically does what he do. So it's like if
exactly.
anything, Drew's supposed to be in the world title picture again right now. He's supposed to be, but to his credit, him and Punk is having this feud for the whole summer.
But
So
and this goes back to us saying that it doesn't make sense because at the end of the day, Drew McIntyre still technically is owed a rematch. He got screwed out of the match to begin with. So for that whole thing is like we're 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 getting another WWE title run repeat of him chasing the title. We're sick of it. Like we're done. We got Gunter. We got Gunter now. He's going to kill it as world champion. He's already starting to kill it with Randy, and they ain't even have a match yet. Well,
Mm.
yeah,
the match yet. So it's like, bro, nobody's taking that title off of Gunter, even past Mania.
I mean, I agree with. I think he holds it until Mania. To be honest with you, and probably lose it at Mania, if anything.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't have Gunter lose two Manias in a row. I can't.
I
I
mean,
mean, it happens, bro.
I know it happens. I don't want to see that. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like they're going. And I think this might happen. They might repeat the whole IC title run, but this time with the world title. And
Oh Lord,
the reason why I say that is because if you look at how Braun Breaker is moving right now, they keeping the title on him for
oh, he gonna have the IC title for a minute.
yeah,
yeah,
he's gonna have that for a dumb period of time.
that's another freaking nature.
Um,
If they have
Gunter,
a match with him and fucking Bryson Reed, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna
bruh,
lose my mind. I don't know why
bruh,
I see it happening. I don't know why I
bruh.
see it happening, but I'm gonna lose my mind if I see that.
And you know
This is
what?
my
Him
thing about
saying,
Bronson.
you know what?
Go ahead, go ahead.
He just said something that made me think of something. Right. So Bronson Reed took out Seth. Right.
Yeah,
Do you think Seth's gonna be in the IC title picture again?
no,
Mm.
uh,
No.
Seth is going to be in that world title picture because that's the title he made basically create on that show. So it's like for him to just go back down to the IC picture wouldn't make sense.
The only reason why I say that is because Bronson Reed is a mid Carter, so to speak, and he's kind of sort of in the hunt. I feel like since he's a mid Carter, he's on the hunt for the IC title, so to speak. But I'm thinking if Seth was to come back and Bronson Reed is IC champ, Seth may have a shot.
I'm gonna stop you right there because I don't think I think Bronson is done chasing the IC title. Him going after Seth means he wants the big title. He wants the world
Yeah,
championship.
no, I get that. I get that. I'm just saying.
Now, granted, I get what you're saying though, but it's
Mm,
like Bronson Reed already had a chance for the kind of title and lost multiple times.
tis is true.
So,
Tis is true.
if anything, like I said, he wants to move on to the world title, which he can legitimately have a shot at because it's
Mhm.
like since beating up on Seth, he's been given this. This is going to sound so wrong when I say it. He's been giving everybody a tsunami lately a lot, and it's been crazy.
Yeah,
He's gave
he's
he's
killed off
gave Seth
multiple characters.
he killed Seth 6 times. He killed R-Truth about like 4 times. He just destroyed the Miz, and now he got to
he
fight
giving
Brock this
he
Monday.
giving everybody vacations, take some time off.
Hmm. My man
That
came in
is
like a
true.
wrecking ball. Like
Shut up.
I can see him feuding with Gunther though. I can see that. Like you feel
Two
like
older
he
guys
deserve it.
like each other.
I feel like no, I'm talking about Bronson Reed. I feel like him fighting Gunther, it would make sense to me. It would make sense that he go after Gunther and
Yeah,
it
two
just
older
don't
guys.
because ain't no way in hell that Gunther picking up for no power bomb. I don't think so. You gonna have to put him to sleep, Gunther. Or
Or
something.
something.
Because ain't no
Or
way, boy.
something.
If you power bomb him, I'm turning the TV off.
Yeah, it's Dunzo. It's Dunzo after that.
I mean,
But
you
no,
gotta
I feel
think
like
about it though. The way these guys be lifting weights and everything. I mean, anything possible.
Anything
he'll
is
get a hernia.
possible. It,
He'll
for sure.
get a hernia.
For
He'll be hopping
sure.
around like I am.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
think about it. Remember, we had Undertaker. Remember, he powered by Mark Henry, but that was on the top rope though. So
oh
there's
yeah,
that.
well, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that.
But no, I feel like CM Punk gonna win that match, tie the series. Then they're gonna go to Blood and have another goddamn match to tie it up to finish whoever win the best of three. They're gonna
Yep,
milk this.
that's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel
Unless
too.
I feel like if that's the case, they're gonna extend it until Survivor Series because that'll be the 1 year that Punk came back.
I don't know. I don't think so. Because it's like, why would you do that? Because it's like you're having this match at Bash at Berlin, and then you're gonna have a match of Bad Blood. It makes sense to end it on Bad Blood because like both of them have your alpha blood against each other, so it only makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
But
unless
yeah, that's
because I don't
but
if we don't get Punk and Seth at Mania, we might get Punk and Seth at Survivor.
who knows?
Even that might work. Even that might
Because
work.
Seth is gonna be out. I don't know for how long, but he's out indefinitely, quote unquote, because he's actually like for shoot out. So
Yeah, it might be
we'll see how it works out.
it might be a couple months.
Told him you can't need to stop ignoring that back. Can't ignore that shit
Yeah,
no more.
yeah.
And
You can't ignore that shit.
just
Yeah.
got tsunami a few times, and your back is probably destroyed like hell. So
Yeah,
it's like,
everybody rather see Punk versus Seth.
yeah.
That back
So
injury.
let's get to these last two matches, and then we're gonna like close out the show. Next match we got is Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens for the Undisputed WWE Championship.
Y'all could have wasted. Y'all could have pushed this to Bad Blood and just not had a match. Y'all could have pushed some other shit in here. You know Cody ain't dropping that belt no time fucking soon.
Of course.
He make y'all
But do
too
you
much
know
money.
that?
The motherfucker was in Call of Duty. He was in Call of Duty. What are we doing?
Rhea Ripley, Rey Mysterio.
Why the
They
fuck
all
did y'all? If y'all could have put anybody else besides Ray, you could have put anybody else besides Ray. I would have took Seth Rollins.
Ooh.
Hit
Now they
somebody
said
with the stomp as a finish. I would have took Seth Rollins. I'd have took anybody fucking else but fucking Rey Mysterio. Because
you
y'all
gotta think
made
about
him
it though.
taller. Bullshit.
You gotta think about it though. They're only doing that because one, they need a popular wrestler in Cody Rhodes. They need a popular women wrestler in Rhea Ripley, and they need a legend. So who's the legend they're gonna call for? Rey Mysterio.
They could have put Stone Cold in there. I'd have been so happy.
That would have been dope.
You could. I would have took the Rock. You could have put the fucking Undertaker.
The Rock.
Ooh. Taker and
Here's the thing about
my god, Taker and Call
Taker
of
is cool.
Duty.
The Rock, I can't put him in a video game anymore because him playing in Doom killed it for me. That damn
We can
movie
talk about
Doom.
like. In all
That damn
honesty,
movie.
I feel like looking at these last two matches, Cody's not dropping that belt. Neither is Gunther. I understand why you put him in there with Randy. I get it. I completely understand it. I get why you put him in there with Randy. Makes perfect sense. But he not dropping that belt no time soon. Cody, I don't see Cody dropping that, having an issue with that belt until Roman come and knock it. That's going to make sense to me.
That too. And
So Roman come and
To
knock
be
it.
honest with you,
Bash at Berlin
go
is
ahead.
going to be Kevin Owens turning heel officially.
I mean, I can see that happening. My main thing is though, I know you just said Roman and Cody. I think for right now, we're gonna get Roman and Cody sooner, but not now. If anything, WrestleMania for me with Cody, his next opponent is gonna be at WrestleMania. Gonna be probably Orton. If anything, That's how I see it. Because Randy, like I said, Randy, I don't care what anybody say. Randy got too damn
That
big.
that'll that'll make sense because he was part of the fucking legacy with him,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
and he turned on Cody first, so that makes sense. I get you. I see what you mean.
Yep. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's like
He's-
it's basically you're fighting your mentor at the biggest stage of them all. Now, granted, we know The Rock and Roman gonna have their match at Mania, which should have been happening a long time ago. But
Mm-hmm.
they're finally gonna probably do it at Las Vegas, which is gonna be a bigger stage.
Mm-hmm.
So for us to get Randy and Cody at Mania, that's the logic match that's gonna happen.
Right.
Now, anything can happen throughout these next few months, because remember, we're almost out the year. 2025 is right around the corner for real.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we got Bad Blood, we got Survivor Series. They don't have a review in December, so it's like we're gonna have to wait until January for Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we already said that Randy Orton ain't beating Gunter. It should be a great match, but you
Mm.
know we know Gunter ain't losing his belt.
Yeah. Gunter
So
losing.
didn't they put LA Knight on the card? It's an open challenge for his US title.
they didn't confirm it yet. It might be just on SmackDown probably.
I was about to say it 9 times out of 10 it might be on SmackDown.
I mean, it'll be cool if it's on
Please
the
don't put that.
card.
Please don't put Logan Paul back on TV. Please, I've
Oh
had
no,
enough.
we're gonna be
I've
far
had
from
enough.
Logan. We're gonna be far
Oh,
from
he
Logan.
far
I
from
feel
Logan.
like
That's
I
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
feel
that's right.
like
Because they getting sued by it. They was getting sued by the Olympics still at this current
yeah,
point
I
in time.
feel
Yeah,
like
it's
It
dumbass.
want nothing to do
my
with him.
my my prediction for LA Knight's next opponent is probably going to be one of two
Ooh,
people. Is either
Shit, new
going to
person?
be um, Andrade or Carmelo.
You know what else I can
that's
say?
right.
It's other people you can say too, because they've been showing a lot of vignettes for Giovanni Vinci lately.
The gimmick that the other boy was supposed to have.
Yeah, Pitbull. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, not Pitbull. Kaiser. Kaiser was supposed to have that gimmick.
not really. It was all Giovanni because he had it in NXT.
No, so here's why I'm saying he was supposed to have that gimmick because remember when they was teasing Gunter splitting up with Imperium
Mm.
and
Oh
Kaiser
yeah,
was supposed to have that singles run. That's why I say that whole model gimmick, whatever G Boy is doing, Kaiser was supposed to have
not G Boy. That's insane.
that.
But
He was supposed to
you
have
know what's
that
crazy
gimmick.
though? We got two pay-per-views coming up for next weekend. We got Bash and Berlin on Saturday, and then we got NXT on Sunday.
Ooh yeah, forgot about. Oh man,
Yeah, we got a lot this weekend coming up because we just had wrestling today, so it's like I said, when wrestling's all the time, we all win as fans because if we watch the products.
I still have yet to go to a pay per view.
You and me
Wait,
both.
oh,
I never been to a wrestling
wait a minute.
event.
I thought you went to the review event, Lee or Nova.
No,
Oh, I
no,
thought you had. My fault.
no. You good? Um, I've never been to a pay per view as far as WWE is concerned. The only one I've been to was Raw and SmackDown, and
Okay.
maybe a yeah Raw and SmackDown. That's about
Yeah, I
it.
want to say I've been to Raw, SmackDown. Now I've been WrestleMania, so I can
I
just scratch it off on bucket
I
list.
I've been to no major promotion wrestling show. I went to an indie show in Cleveland only because my friend got me tickets because he was a part of it, and I got to throw somebody through a table, so it was great.
my
Okay.
biggest regret was missing WrestleMania because that could have been my opportunity to watch The Rock fight in person. That's my
I remember this is so good. It's funny you mentioned that. I remember I don't know. It came up on my timeline on TikTok again, and some dude reacted to it because he's never seen it. When Mark Henry suplexed the Big Show in the ring and it imploded. And I remember watching that. I was sitting. It was on a smack. It was on an episode of Raw, wasn't it? It was on Raw.
What?
No, I know what he's talking
It was,
about.
it was
Come
a
on, Mark
Raw or
It was a it was
SmackDown.
a it was a pay per view. Was
TLC.
it There you go.
we and it was just like out of the ordinary. It was like, okay, the match still going, and then you just see him pick him up off the turnbuckle and the ring fucking imploded, and the referee fell out the ring. And I was like, oh, that's wild. And I'm thinking they gonna keep going, but the shit just ended.
They added that they added animation in the video game too, right?
Yeah.
Yo, I remember where I was when I watched that episode of SmackDown. They first did that job. I said, so this is how they're going to end SmackDown? The ring just broke?
All right, wrap it up, guys.
They ain't got to worry about breaking down the ring. They already done did it. Like, they could just...
At the time, that was UPN.
Yo, they was like, yo, the ring broke. Send in the truck. We can just pack this shit up and just go. Like,
yo,
that was when Brock when Brock suplexed Big Show off this turnbuckle that time.
That was the first time the ring imploded, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the ref fell out the ring. Yo, the ref falling out the ring is the highlight of that whole thing.
What the hell happened to the ref?
We thought the ref died.
Because it's like, one, we know Brock Lesnar's a freak of nature and strength, and then you got Big Show, who's also like one of the best big men that ever stepped in the ring. Having them two in the ring and then the ring collapsing to end on a SmackDown on a Thursday night. It's insane. It was in 2003 at that, so it's like that was a big moment. Cause at that time, SmackDown's big three was Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, and Big Show. Just them three.
I was gonna say Taker, but Big Show, yeah.
Well, Taker, he was kind of out for a little bit at the time. So I mean, he was there, but it's like he was feuding with Cena. So, speaking of which, before you go, Temoni, and before we wrap up, how you feel about John Cena retiring?
I mean, it's like somebody telling you your favorite, like one of the 2K servers that you used to play years ago is going offline. Like you care, but you don't give a damn because you're more focused on what was happening. Like, don't get me wrong. Like my favorite era of John Cena was Dr. Thugonomics. That's what is annoying to me. I like that John Cena. Like, don't get me wrong. My time is now was cool. And one of my friends who we used to watch wrestling all the fucking time together, I don't really fuck with him anymore. I remember riding around with him in the car, and the only CD he played was My Time Is Now. I've heard that album so many times, I feel like it should be illegal. That's torture. Certain songs on there, like, it's only 2 songs on there, I'd be like, cool. His theme song, and then fucking...
Bad Man.
Nah, Bad Man, man, I ain't gonna hold you. I listen to that shit when I work out. That's crazy. I can't even... I just realized that.
It is a good song.
So off that album, mine's is Make It Loud, Beantown, and I forget, it was like a couple other joints down there that I actually like, but
I didn't know R-Truth rapped on that.
My Time Is Now is annoying.
This? You know how he knows this? He had the CD.
I did.
Me and him been friends since 3rd grade. He had the CD for years.
And I only like 4 songs off of that album, and the rest was like Booty Chick McDaniels, like that.
My thing is, this dude don't like John. Well, quote unquote, he don't like John Cena because, one, I think every girl he dated was a John Cena fan.
And then it was fucking annoying. Like, God.
Nah, I dated a girl who was obsessed with Jeff Hardy, and I mean, she had a tattoo on her back of him doing the Swan Time. Doing the Swan Time bond. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. This is weird. Like,
you know how you know she's a real fan? If she gets the tattoo. If she gets the tattoo of Jeff Hardy in that whole pyro accident, then she a real one.
Like it's liking somebody, loving somebody, being a fan and being an obsessive fan. She was way past obsessive fan. You hear me? Way past. Like,
that's bad.
I believe it.
Like I can recall going to her apartment and like she had like this shrine to him. Cool, you know. I have nerd stuff behind me, so I get it. But I mean, like, she had like posters of him, candles that had like his little picture on them. I don't know where the fuck you got these candles from. the fucking wrist things, the arm things he wore. He threw them in the
Those
Oh,
crowd,
hold
and
the
she got
hold.
some, and they're there. And she said he
Wasn't that
actually
Indian
wore
food?
these, and she had the pictures. No, he's done that a couple of times. And
oh,
then the most disgusting thing out of this entire collection. No, I'm not about to say like fingernails or hair. I'm not saying that. It's a shirt that
uh-huh.
stinks to high heaven inside of
Ew.
a Ziploc bag and in a container and inside of another container. And I'm not joking. It's when he threw up at a house show on that shirt. I don't know how
No.
long ago that was. I just know that I'm glad. Like after she told me she had it, I was like, "Hey, I'm glad you mentioned that because we can't do this no more. This shit is over."
No. No.
Was she
Who the
trying to create another Jeff Hardy off of
I
his
don't know, but
DNA?
uh,
Yeah.
on that note, we gonna head on out of here because that's just diabolical. Ain't no
Oh,
way.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Literally.
oh man,
All
oh.
right, guys. This
Did
has
she take
been
the man's
another.
pills too? Like, is that another?
man.
Like,
When
Shut
I
up.
tell you,
Shut up.
when I tell you, she
Shut
was
up.
obsessed. She was obsessed. Like she was like, I don't see anything wrong with him getting drunk and botching the show. Are you serious? Do you know how many people he could have hurt
did
besides
she
himself?
reenact Victory Road? Like, what?
I was like, do you know what you're talking about? I said, we're not talking about like sipping something and then going out to break your nerves. I'm talking about like you can tell he was shit faced.
Yeah, he
You
Yes,
was
can
done
it
done.
was
tell,
bad. It was bad.
and he's still like that. And
I haven't heard anything recently with him.
he's going to pull a Scott Hall bet.
Oh,
That's
He's gonna
that.
pull a Scott Hall.
Oh, if that ain't a
now
wake up call, if that ain't a
yeah.
wake up call,
Now,
like,
granted, Scott Hall, like later down the road, he did get clean. And he hasn't done anything, but he passed away a few years ago. But I can see what you're saying about Jeff for sure, because Jeff, I haven't heard anything recently with him, but beforehand he did get to a situation before, so it's like he
hmm
gotta relax and he gotta chill.
he definitely got chill. He got to do
Cause
something.
he still wrestles on TNA now,
Mm.
which is insane.
That whole
But
WWE walkout was crazy.
oh my god,
My man said, I'm out." Like,
I'm not dealing with this. You guys deal with it. The fuck is your
yeah,
match? What are you doing?
and Drew McIntyre, the poor guy, was just looking like, hold the fuck up. Yeah, yo, Jeff.
it was so crazy. But yeah, we gonna like head up out of here. We kind of like over time a little bit, but I like to thank my guy Temoni for being our very first guest on our show.
Oh,
Appreciate you having
God.
me, man. I'd love to come back and
Yeah,
talk some more shit and tell y'all how
oh
Razor
yeah.
Ramon has the worst promos in history.
No, real shit, though. But he's the greatest of all time with the worst promos.
I don't fucking man. I'm gonna go home and I'm going upstairs and drink now more than I've already been drinking.
All right, well, we're gonna let you go ahead and get out of here. Do you want to have anybody like find you on social media or anything? You want to give that
You can
shout
find
out?
me on TikTok on both pages. It's your big brother Tamani. 2 pages with the exact same name. I stream on there. We had a great stream today. We're gonna give away some shit. I talk shit a whole lot, so you can find me on them 2 pages. You can try to find me on Instagram. It's Tamani. I think it's your big brother Tamani on Instagram too. Again, I just talk a whole lot of shit. That's what I do. And my whole job, if I make you upset, I've accomplished my goal.
There you go. True him. True him.
Not
All
only
right.
are you a
So
hot dog, a grandstand, or a showboat, and a prima donna, but you're
You're
a
a
liar.
liar too.
ah, so let's give
I
a
know
hand
y'all
clap
want
for
to have me back.
Tamani.
I got the best soundboard.
With the grandstanding in your hot dog.
Bro, no, watch it. Yo, if you follow him, bro, look at his promos. He's doing Macho
Oh,
Man for sure.
Oh, God.
I got one coming out this week. It's the second best one I've done thus far.
Oh, my God.
Oh my god. So, all right, bro,
Oh,
you got anything coming up, Nova?
oh, yeah. You can see me walk out of ASW Philly like Jeff Hardy did. But no,
Shut up. Shut
uh,
up.
we,
You going to hell.
you can you can you can follow me on Instagram at Nova_chapter 31. You can you can also follow me at SW Philly_Exodus Jones, where you might see me have a pyro mishap on the top of a
Shut your, you know
stage.
Oh
what?
God.
You know what?
Oh,
Enough.
yeah, it doesn't
Enough.
matter. No.
You might see me lose a ladder match and then turn into Undertaker
Enough.
chokeslamming somebody. Like,
Enough.
I'm
Oh
not.
man, you
Brother,
What's
what's
that?
that?
What's that, brother?
What's that, brother?
ah, okay, okay, let me do
Shit.
uh all right, you can follow me right there at fat double underscore hog. Like I said, I'm just doing this podcast on every Saturday, Sunday, sorry. Every Sunday. Also, we have a Discord. Follow the Discord. We be laughing up in there sometimes. Also, we have YouTube. Also, we have Instagram page. Yo, the hell with you, bro. The hell with you. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. So, like I said, I appreciate you, somebody, for coming on. We'll have you on probably soon.
Oh god,
Hopefully, we get you on here with your
I'm in
boy Chuck.
fucking
Probably.
tears.
Have you
Oh
both
yeah,
on
me
here.
and Chuck had words.
Oh, I'm in
Yeah,
fucking
we definitely
tears.
gotta have that. I'm gonna hit him up and ask him.
I'm in
All right,
fucking
guys. Well,
tears.
I got that just for you. I got that just for you.
oh, all right, guys. Have a
Oh.
good night.